The D man.
Yeah, shout out my nigga from D's Media, you feel me?
It's your boy D's Media back again with another video, man. Today I got a real special guest, man, that I believe this might be her first time interview. I want to let her introduce herself. Can you let the people know who we got here today?
It's Robin. I'm little Ksoo's mom.
Okay. For the people that don't know, I wanted to get your story, like your history, growing up in Chicago, how it was, back in the day and stuff like that, and to current event. But I want to start off by saying, what part of Chicago is you from?
Well, I'm actually from Auburn Gresham. I grew up on 79th, so I'm from 79th Street.
Okay, so for the people that never been to Chicago, can you speak on like the gangs that was in your area, in your time when you was coming up, and just a little history of the neighborhood you grew up in?
Well, it was like a mixture. It was like the gangsters, the BDs. I grew up with Killer Ward, so um, it was way different back then. It ain't nothing like it is now. But yeah, it was. I was grew up around and the Stones too. I grew up around the Stones on Foster near Foster Park. I've been all around. So.
Chicago, growing up for you? How would you describe it?
Well, it always been a little rough because I mean I've been out here in these streets. I've been taking care of myself since I was 14. But it wasn't as dangerous as it is now. Like it's like you really can't be outside no more like you used to. You used to could sit outside on the porch, chill out, kick it, have real friends. Friends you grew. Y'all called each other friends. When we called each other friends back then, we was friends. And we grow up together. We eat each other houses. It was just different. You know.
What's one of the things that that you could say, back in the day we did, and versus today, y'all just lost clue of it. Back in my day we did this, and versus what y'all doing now.
Yeah, but like I say, back in the day, we stuck together. If we called each other's best friends or fake cousins or something like that, that we stood on that and we stand together. Like we wasn't on none doing that is what you call backdooring their friends and all that snake. That's not nothing. That's not you in the streets. That's you don't get no honor. That's not nothing we ever did. That we ever thought about doing.
Okay. And I completely agree on that. It was like, your life, maneuvering throughout life, and then, because I have heard, like, they say, Queso mom, she a OG, she was really in them streets. So how was it like, you having your personal life and then becoming a mother? Can you speak on that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was out here. I was out here real bad, real rough. Look what they used to call a little tomboy or whatever. I wasn't tomboy, but I was just rough. I always hung with the guys, but um it's like see I was rough and I did a lot of I got up 5 times, I got shot twice. Got when before I had kids, which I had my first child when I was 19. But before that, yeah, I was out here, but um, when I got when I got shot, and I got shot twice. I got shot in my stomach. I got shot in my arm. But and I with that situation, I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and you know, but that kind of opened my eyes. Like bullets ain't got no name, so you need to just stay out the way. Go sit down. Do what women, girls do. But that opened me up. That opened my eyes, and I had to, I chilled out from then. And that was in '98 because I'm 45 right now. So yeah, it was
Okay.
it was rough, but I I made it through that.
Was like the stages to the point that you was like, you know what, man, I'm a mother now. You know, I'm about to put on this motherly hat, skip what I did back in the day and everything I went through. Can you speak on that time of your life? Because I just want it all to lead up to where we at today. But I want to tell your story, you know, on how you left the streets and you know you became a mother, you know, you working, you know, you doing the right thing. I just want to speak on that.
Yeah. Well, like I say, after I got shot, I had to, you know, sit and think like, man, I've the streets ain't really for me. I know about the streets. I'm really pretty hip to the street because I've been in here, like I say, for a long time. But I realized that once after I got shot, I said because the doctor was trying to tell me I wasn't gonna have no kids, but I ended up having three after that.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, so when I had my first child, I just just stopped everything. I just wasn't hanging out like I was, and we ain't really do too much dumb back then. Like we didn't really like all the stuff they doing now. They robbing old people for no reason. Back then we wanted money in our pocket. We wanted to, do something that's gonna get us some, if we can work, like maybe uh mow the lawn or help old people. Like they the total opposite this whole generation. And I really think it was back then, like we wasn't thinking about, we was just, we might drink a little bit, but it's a whole different ball game now. But I know when I got shot, that's what opened my eyes into not being in the streets. Cause I'm like, man, here it is. I got shot for no reason. Or hanging around the wrong people or being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So, I just figured that wasn't for me. I want to live and raise and have a family and raise my family and try to teach my kids like this, what not to do. So
The time you had queso, so like, would you say by the time you had little queso that you was already, you know, working and done with the streets and all of that?
yeah, I was done with the streets when I had my first child, and that was in 2000. And then I had my second daughter in 2003, and then I had Queso in 2009. And I've been working all ever since. So you know,
What would you say is the difference raising a young lady in Chicago and raising a young man in Chicago? What would you say is the difference?
hmm. Um, well, I think it's a little more easier, especially for me, a woman to raise I think a girl is easier because you can really teach her more things as far as being a lady and things like that. Raising a boy is it's not it's kind of harder, because I feel that they need, and I know my son was, miss his dad is locked up, and he been locked up since he
Yeah, I was
was.
gonna ask you about that too.
Yeah, but I really think that um it's easier for a woman on raising a girl, because I think that boy need that male figure in his life, some type of way. That's just how I feel right there. And it was kind of, it wasn't hard me raising him because he, I never seen inside of him like everything that I'm seeing now. Like even
Right.
knowing he was rapping, like I never seen none of this till he passed. So it really messed me up. So but yeah, I think it's easier for a woman to raise a girl. You know, I mean,
What what would be the one thing that you would tell everybody that just believed that you just had your child out here running wild and everything, and like how you just said, I didn't even know he was rapping. I didn't even know he was in the streets. I didn't know. How would you speak for like the parents that really don't know what their kids is out here doing? Don't really know what their kids is getting into. A lot of mothers work 12-hour shifts, put food on the table, clothes on their back. you ain't got time to be checking YouTube and social media. But like, how would you speak on that?
Yeah, that's kind of messed up because at first, like I'm not a YouTube, I've never really been hanging on none of that. Like I got an Instagram page, a Facebook page, but I still was never like on that. Like I never had time to be on social media, like you said, because I work and I work the first shift, so I'll be out the house at 4 in the morning. I get up every morning at 4:30, but uh, he wouldn't have never let me know he was drill rapping that. Now I see why he hid it from me. You know what I'm saying? But I have a few people, and I know he's seen it a few times, like when he was younger, because I got people in my family, like his uncle, his cousins, they rap. So it's like I know he's seen that where he's seen that rapping part from, coming up
Right.
from his uncles and cousins. But man, I mean, them parents that just don't know, man, it hurts because if I would have known he wouldn't have been out here, period. I'd have sent them away from Chicago. Like if I knew he was that deep in that, doing what he was doing, that's why he hid it from me. I knew it because he know I wasn't going for that at all. Like I would have helped him. You could have got with some people. If you want to rap or do this, but that drill rapping, you never make it doing no drill rapping. That go far. Like you got to wake up. You drilling. You rapping about somebody that's either or oppa or supposedly a op or something. And so now every time you go out of this and that, you got to look behind you got to watch your back because you don't know who after you. You know what I'm saying? You out here drill rapping. That don't go far. And I wouldn't have condoned that at all. And
It's
that's why he kept that from me.
from my personal opinion, it sounded like you was real heavily strict on queso and you wasn't going for it, and that would make sense why he hid some things. But I seen one of your lives one time, and you said something that caught a lot of people off guard, and it even shocked me, and it changed my opinion. You said, "Y'all don't even know that my baby was expelled from the school, and that's why he wasn't in school that day." Because a lot of people would say, why he not in school? Why he not this, and this? And when you broke that down, I was like, she really let it be known, like, no, he wasn't in school, and I was trying to get him back in school. Can you speak on that?
Man, and I really oh man, I cannot stand that principal. I don't even like their school up there. He was going to Perspectives on 87th and State right there. Now he got suspended the week before that when they was going on Thanksgiving break,
Okay.
which was like November, like a week before he got he, they it's like I called up to the school. He was supposed to go back that Monday. So I
Okay.
called up there and I'm having problems. I couldn't even get to the principal. So I talked to the assistant principal. And he like, yeah, well, we supposed to have a meeting today. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna call you right back. So they never called. They never called. I called. They ain't answered. I called again. I called the next day. I never got no answer, and he ended up getting Wednesday. But yeah, he would have been definitely in school because that's why I worked that first shift just so like he gonna be at school while I'm at work. That way when I get off, because he was on house arrest also. So when I get off, I can just go pick him up from school, like that. It's like so I can, he wouldn't be too much away,
Was there
home alone without me because I know he was sneaking them in, sometimes. So,
was there was there was there like a reason, or was there like something that you sensed that you was like, oh no, let me try to pull my baby back. He doing a little bit too much. Was it like something that you sensed or you seen that you was like, my child is really out here? And also a second question was, what was the moment that you realized that he was out there, and what was your opinion? You know what I'm saying? And that talk that you had with him, because it looked like you ain't playing that. Like you look like when you found out you ain't playing that.
well, when I found out, when I found out, it was I didn't find out till maybe 2 months before he got, like that he was rapping, because I heard one song that he was doing it, but I didn't even hear it. He didn't let me hear it, but I knew he was rapping. I'm like, and no, matter of fact, this the day when I picked him up from Audi home because he got locked up October. 3 months before it all happened. He got locked up, and I had to go get him out. And I knew his friend, the that cute little 50 boy, and I mean not know him, but I had heard he got killed, and I'm like, damn. I told him when he got out, and he it's like he wasn't trying to hear what I was saying, but
Right.
I knew then he was making a song because when he was in there, he had me call little Speedy before he can hear a song or something, but I couldn't really hear because I'm at work and I let him do his little, he had his little time on the phone or whatever,
Right.
and
Right.
I just let him do that. But yeah, I found out way too late. Like I said, he kept that from me so good. He was so secret about it, like. Cause when I go to work and I come home, it's like I'll be tired and I'll be out of there, I go to sleep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's like he'll do little stuff and sneak his friends in like that. But
We all did it.
yeah, but mm, and it's like I thought he was just when the police used to call me, they called me a few times for him. And it was because he was stealing cars. So that's literally what I thought that he was doing. And when I found out he was doing that, and I got him, went and got him from the station the last time, and I had a long talk with him, and I'm like, Kenwan, I'm like, and it shocked me because he's so little. So I wouldn't believe he was really out there doing that. And I'm like, Kenwan, I'm like, you out there stealing cars? I say, man, somebody you they see you stealing a car, man. I said, that's not safe. That's not safe at all. I said, man, look, I told you if he finished uh high school, I was gonna get him a car. He ain't trying to wait for all that. So he wanna do what he gonna do. But yeah, I did have a little talk with because that's what I thought he was doing, just stealing
Right.
cars. And so he slowed down. He stopped doing that and he started being home because I used to be worried about him a lot, man, because I'd be at work or I get off work and he not home and I call, he don't answer, or he be gone for days, like days, 2 3 days, and I be like, where's he at? And this when I found out about the Jada girl, that's
Right.
who house he used to be at, when he was friends with them until they fell out or whatever. And I guess that's when he started staying home, and
Relation. When was the first time that you might have seen or heard Ksoo, having a relationship with Lil 50 or Jada or any of them, fully chop any of them, Speedy? Because from what I heard, they all went to school together or something like that.
no, I don't think he went to school with none of them. Um, he went to Perspectives. I didn't see. I don't know. I don't think none of them went to that school up there. Honestly, I don't know how he met them. I know he had to meet them through school or somewhere at that, somewhere like that. But I had never met them, ever seen them in my life, but one time because like I say, if he got into trouble or if he was or something, he'd call his sisters before he called me. So
Right.
it's like this last time, and I guess this was the time that they stole his when he was asleep or whatever the case may be, and he fell out with them or something like that. That's when I found out that he was, carrying. I'm like, oh Lord! And when I said, Ken, why do you have a gun? Do you need a gun? And he said, Mom. His exact words told me if he didn't have out here in the streets, I would be out here crying, and I'd never forget him told me. It hurt my heart, man.
Moment right there, looking back on it, do you wish like that moment right there that you was like, I should have got my baby out of there? You know what I'm saying? Because parents don't really understand, and I understand now because I got a little bit older. It's that certain dudes is put in situations or around certain things, and they feel like that they got to be tough and they can't let it show that no sign of weakness or none of that. So if that mean carry, if that mean doing whatever it is, certain people feel like they just gotta overprove themselves. Now looking back on it, will you be like, dang, my baby did tell me what was going on?
But he never told me what. That's the only thing he said. And when I get to talking to asking and talking to him, like he got that bad, he'd get silent because he won't say nothing. But at that time, when he told me that, when I was getting him out of, when I picked him up from juvie, that was my first thought. I say, because I was gonna send him down where his people at, but I had to get him off that band first. So
Oh,
he was on house arrest, and this is the 3 months, but right before it happened, I got him out in October, and they put him on the house arrest band. But that was my first. That definitely was my intentions when I picked him up that last time out of jail, and I just got tired of him even going. Like he go and get and cut, and they just sent him home. But this time he was in Audi home for 30 days. But and that was my intentions though when he told me that, and I said, "What you need for?" Like a crazy question, but I want to hear his answer. Like because I know
right.
it, but I wanted to hear him say what. And he told me that, and I knew then. I say he deep in it, like for him to even say that, like, "Mom, you gonna be crying if I don't have it, like, eat it." Like he didn't care, like you gonna be crying, like it's nothing. Like these kids, like I swear, they think life is like a joke. I don't know what it is.
They think it's Grand Theft Photo.
I mean, I know, like I done seen some lies, man. Him hide in the kite. Yeah, I seen one with the police chase. Boy, I damn near fell out. I'm like, I'm like, we had never did like that then. Back then, we were chasing the police, and the police wasn't like they is now, but we just never did that. Like we try to stay away from the police. We don't play with the police. Like we don't with like I saw that. I Lord Jesus, just so many things I saw that just shocked me because he never showed me that side ever.
When was the first time that you ever heard of the little Speedy name, or the first time that you ever seen him around your son? Because from the internet, I only could go off of what I also report on myself. It seemed like him and little Speedy got cooler when he fell out with Fully Chop and Jada and them. Can you speak on that if you choose to?
That I mean, I think that's probably when they got cool because I never seen that boy in my house except the week before that happened. That's the only time I ever seen them there, and that's because I allowed my son to, I was cooking for them for Thanksgiving. I said you can have a few friends, you know what I'm saying. So they was in my house. Then him, whoever the rest of them, it was about three of them, but I never seen them. Them ain't the ones he usually hang with. So I never seen them. That was my first time seeing them, and I went in there and spoke to him, like, what's up? And then, besides me calling Lil Speedy for him when he was in jail, that's the first time I ever seen them was the week before that stuff happened.
Okay. Can you walk us through that day? Your son tragically losing his life. Whatever you care to speak on. Can you speak on that day?
Well, yeah, um, I was I was basically when I got up from work. When I got up from work, he wasn't in the house, and that really upset me because I'm like, and I can't. I really want to take off that day, like, but I couldn't take off that day. So I woke up, his friend Ludwig sitting in my front room. So I go in there. I'm like, who? I'm like, what is you doing here? I'm like, where's Kiwan? Oh, he went to the store. I guess this one him and Speedy was out riding together. I guess he was out with them. There I go again. I call him. He don't answer. So I text him. I'm like, Kiwan, so you playing with me? Why is you outside? You ain't even supposed to be out. You on house arrest.
Right.
He texts me back like, Mom, I left him in there because I know you was gonna leave out for work and you was gonna lock me out. I said you ain't supposed to be out, and but he never texts back. So I went to work, and I wasn't feeling too good. Like I went to especially because he wasn't there when I left.
Right.
So and the little boy used to, little Wick, I let him spend the night up there with him a few times. So I knew him, and so I just kept. I wasn't, sometimes we just get that gut feeling, feel like something ain't right, and or just it's just, I guess, yeah, it's a good feeling. So
But you still
I
got
just
to
told
go
my
to
boss
work too.
I want to go home because I want to check on my son because I knew he's gonna be sneaking them in, so I knew he was gonna be at home. I wanted to come home because, like I say, he wasn't there when I left, and I just wanted to check on him and, make sure he ain't have a house full of his friends.
Right.
So I left at 10. I only stayed for 4 hours. I left at 10 o'clock, and I come, I had stopped at the store because I was gonna get some stuff for me to cook for him or whatever. And so I come home, and when I'm walking up the stairs, and the little cat out there, he rubbing all on my foot. I'm like, damn, a cat. Then I look up. When I look up, my doors was wide open. So you have the back door and the screen door, because you can only come out the back, because I had the front locked down. So
Okay.
I looked up, and the doors was wide open. And yeah, so when I walked in and I'm calling, I'm like, damn, Ken, why? I'm like, he done left the doors. What, he done ran up out of here or something? I'm thinking. And I go and I walk in the living room. So I look, and he was sitting right there on the floor. And I still walked up to him because I didn't know, he just looked like he was sitting there, like he was asleep, like he's,
Right.
and as I got closer, I just, man, I just lost it. Like damn, like cannot be real, And yeah, so that's how that happened. And I found him, and I'm tripping because they all on the internet talking about, oh, he playing he didn't even have a game. So I don't know where they got all that. He was playing a game, and that I walked in, my baby was sitting there, and he had money in his hand. That's why I was tripping when Speedy made that song, and he remade it, and he made the internet know, say, oh no, y'all say he died playing the game. No, he died with money. And I knew right then and there. So I say, see, okay, let
Talk,
but
running that
yeah,
mouth.
but yeah,
Running that mouth.
yeah. So I just let them keep on running it. But yeah, that's how I found my baby. He was in there sitting on the floor with some money in his hand. Definitely, you could definitely tell that he didn't see that coming at all.
Does it make you feel, having to go forward and you see Lil Speedy, you see Fully Chopped, you see Jada, whether it's songs or, live streams or anything, like, can you speak on from like the mother side that actually lost their child, and like how is that looking on the internet and seeing these songs and everything? Because I know it got to drive you crazy, and you holding it together, like you don't go on rants, like you don't, like you just keep your head down and continue going to work, and like
Right.
you.
Yeah, 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 that's you gotta do. And then we, like I say, we totally different. We don't do that internet. And I just have to watch. It hurts to watch, but I have to look at this. I got to, because it's certain things I'm looking for. And then
Right.
you know, but it hurts bad because that's my baby at the end of the day. And children, they supposed to bury their parents, man. We not supposed to bury our kids. And I hate that I even let them, slip past me like that. Like I didn't see that, but it definitely it's messed up, and it's sad because I always loved the shorties. Like I do any, like I feed his friends, I do. I just It's just I always love the shorties because man, if I could do for him, I would. And
Right.
it hurts because I know it's sad to me, and they, like, instead of sticking together, they against each other, and it hurts, like, and it's just be sensitive, it be kill reason. Oh, because I don't know reasons. It's just, man, that's wouldn't wish on no parent, nobody, man.
How do you feel about AMF and his label taking that line out of that song? Because you caught it as well as we all caught it. It's two different versions of that song. How do you feel about his label at least not telling him, like, dog, like, that's a whole
I'm,
open case, or do you think they just care about making money off of him?
yeah, they don't care. They use these shorties to make money off of them. That's just what they do, because it's always somebody older that's telling, like, they not just doing it by themselves, and that's really messed up too, because they supposed to be leading them a whole different way, and they condone it, and she
If it,
dog that is day.
if it's one thing that you could say, because I made a video one time, and I ain't gonna lie, you went off on me. I was like, she want justice from law enforcement, woo woo woo, and you went off and you was like, I ain't with none of that. Whatever happened, gonna happen. And I was like, oh yeah, let me step back. Far as with your son, what would you like to see? Would you like to see justice? Would you like to see whatever gonna happen, gonna happen? Let God handle it.
Well, I
You went off on me.
mm, well, yeah, but see, like I say, we on the internet. I'd rather let God handle it.
I completely
That's
understand that.
that's what I'd rather handle. Because that's what we supposed to do. You supposed to let go and let God handle that. A lot of these kids don't know nothing about God, or don't, haven't been taught nothing about that, or probably don't even believe in it, don't even know nothing about them. But I do. You know what I'm saying? And it hurts me because I can't really do what I want to do. So it's like, and then especially when a person, bragging about it, on the internet, bragging for the whole world to see. That tells me there that he don't give up about himself. He don't give about his life at all. Because like I say, when you dead and all that drill rapping, it's always a target on your back. It's a lot of targets. Like, you don't know where it's gonna come from. But I hate they I hope the police get whenever they plan to get them, because like now it's that juvenile that's that's holding them up with this little Wick dude. I still ain't seen him. They say his parents ain't police. I guess they went to his crib and then they wasn't cooperating, whatever. Which I understand that. I wouldn't send my child out to the police to say nothing and this and that, because then that's the target on his back, which is already a target because you was already in the midst of doing something that you
Right.
knew wasn't right. So it don't even matter. But I just hope I just hope they get what they got coming to them, because they need to be in jail. That's what they need to be. They need to be locked under the jail. You do that taking a person's life for no reason, they ain't gonna brag about it.
I'm gonna be honest. It's one person on the internet that I didn't see shut Jada up, and that was you. Can you speak on your disagreements with Jada? Because it'd be like at times you'd be like, "Why you want to keep putting yourself involved in this if ain't nobody bringing you up?" Can you speak on that? Because you the only person I seen shut her up.
Jada, and she grown. I don't understand why she, you know, but she's still young. I got daughters older than her age. She, what is that? You can send them some one time, which was a warning. Like, okay, October, when I got him out, I saw the text message. Where I guess she had it in vanish mode, but my son, he took a picture of it.
Right.
So that's how I synced it. And he took a picture of it out of my phone, not his phone. So he must have been talking to her on his phone, but he took the picture of them, they conversation, with my phone. And I didn't see
Right.
that till a year later, like, because it was a whole nother phone that I really didn't use, and I used to let him use it, sometimes. And it was her telling him, warning him about somebody that was for him. So this what really hurts me too, because that's what made me know my son knew. He knew that somebody was trying to come, but he still never told me.
You think he
He
didn't want you
knew,
to worry?
huh?
You think he didn't want you to worry?
I mean, that probably too. And then he not no talk, like, he come up his family. He not gonna say too much, and I know that he get that from me, because we ain't no talkative of telling people your business and this and this and that. But I really think that's what he knew because he know I'm deep in the streets. Like I could have anything. Like it, I just hate he did not tell me, you
Right.
know. But that and then the let me see, couple of days before, 2 days before he got him, she sent him a message and said, "Oh no," she said, "Don't worry about it. You finna." He was finna be with her brother. This is what she told him. So her, I don't like her at all. Her, she gonna get what she got coming too because God don't like ugly.
Right.
You playing a big part. You playing a big part in this. Like you not doing nothing different or stopping or she not doing nothing right, man. She bogus. She got 2 little babies, and I don't understand. She a mama herself, but she young, like I say, and she out here with ain't no way in hell I'll be in the midst of all this. And I lost my brother, and I'll be still out here, doing it. And then if you didn't have, but you always, but first she was saying he was her cousin. My son ain't related to y'all. Ain't known y'all not too long. But I don't understand what she was getting off of that. But I mean, and then for you to tell him this like that's the like I say, this generation is cooked. I don't understand where they get their way. What I understand, but I don't got no. No, I like to talk to her personally. I just don't. I don't like her, and she bogus. She want to be in the middle of it. That let her be there.
From your standpoint, do you agree or disagree with Ksoo dissing Lil 50 after he passed away? Do you, from you being a mother and losing your child, can you sit there and say, you know what, my son not here, but he was wrong for that?
He definitely was wrong for that because I asked him when that's the first song I heard some of the actually I saw some of it because he had wrote it down and I begged him not to rap that. Like I said, that's the first and only song I ever heard that he was about to rap, and that's when I got him out the last time. And no, and he know damn well I wouldn't condone in that because I don't condone in drill rap. Period. Don't last. You're not gonna last. You're not gonna live long drill rapping. Mostly all the rappers that done drill, where they at?
Hey, you ain't lying. You
Like
ain't
you
lying.
got to always watch your back because you don't know who gonna fit, who coming for you. I mean, it can't be you rapping around somebody your ops, so you don't know they got family, I mean, you don't know who gonna come, and then I mean, no, he knew I wouldn't. I don't. He was definitely wrong for that because making fun of somebody that is not funny at all. It's not a joke because like I say, you don't know. That could be you. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I would never make fun of it or suggest nobody do that because that ain't right.
To all the mothers out there that lost a child to violence in Chicago or to the drill era, what's the one thing that you just want a message you would like to put out there? It's easy to listen to these guys rap, but to hear from a mother that really lost a child to this generation, to this era, to this rap music, what message do you got?
I just I just suggest that you know it you just gotta pay more attention to your kids, man. I just like it's like whether we working, like it be hard, but you just gotta pay attention, to your kids, man, because and who they hanging with, and I know that's a lot to do, but I mean your kids' life is more important because it's so much out here now that I mean, like I say, friends they can be together in one day and kicking it in your house, eating your food and this and that, and then I mean looking upside your head, really hating you on the inside, and it's dangerous. So I just suggest to these moms to keep their kids away, keep these kids out the street, and try to be as more in their life as you can because that's a hurtful feeling. You can't never come back from that, and I'd never be able to come back from walking in that house seeing my son like that. So it's like man, when is it gonna end? It's not gonna end. So it's like we just gotta keep our kids away from it as best as we can. But you really can't. It's at school just happen everywhere. Don't nobody care. Somebody see something happening to you, they want to stop and record it instead of, it's messed
Right.
up. But I just advise these moms to just get more in their kids' life business. You know what I'm saying?
Is there anything that you want to let Ksoo fans know, or anybody that's watching this, anything you want to let them know before we get out of here? You where to find your IG at if you down to do more interviews or whatever in the future. If there's anything you want to give to them.
Well, yeah, I'm quite sure they know my IG and watching. But yeah, so I wish I just let it. Well, his first fans, I appreciate y'all and y'all love his little music, even though what it was that drill music. See, that's what these kids like. And then yeah, by me hearing his rap though, he would have been a good rapper, just rapping some other shit.
Right.
But to his fans, I appreciate y'all, and to his haters and his trollers, they want to be in the streets. They don't even know half about these streets or what's going on. They doing is, whew, I could just pray for these kids and hope they could change their ways and try to be together instead of against each other. Because the white folks ain't laughing. Because all they do is get on the internet and do towards each other, whether it's or shooting. And that's what the white folks love, and they love to see. And I just wish that they understand that and that they have stopped doing it and be together. The money, find some positive here that can be done, or if don't be afraid to talk to nobody if you need help or want to do this or do that. You don't be scared, because you want to live life. Life is a gift. They don't understand that if it's a gift, and there's more things to life doing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. I thank you so much for taking the time out your busy day. I know some of the subjects we touched on, it was emotional, and I definitely appreciate you for sharing your story and your pains with the viewers. I thank you so much for taking the time out your busy day and giving me the opportunity to interview you.
The D man. Yeah, shout out my nigga from D's Media, you feel me?